So here's the challenge that we have for today. Now the challenge is, I want to stop using this big 8-foot pole. By what I have to do now is this is called a stakeout pole for anybody that doesn't do kayaking, that doesn't know what it is. Just I made this myself. It has a T on the end, and I tied a string through it. You can take a look at it right here. I tied a string through it. I put a little coupling on here, glued it on, drilled a hole through it so it won't come out. I can grab it like this and pull it up. I can use it to stake down when I'm fishing. I have a Yak Attack kayak trolley over here on the other side of my kayak that has a rope that goes from one side from the front to the back. Well, not all the way back, but to this far back, which is far back enough, with the extra string on it. So I clip this thing on. What I do is I'll be out in the kayak and I'll have this clipped to the trolley with an one of these carabiners, and I'll have it clipped on, and you can clip it on either way. Anyway, I have it clipped on, and I'll just clip this on, and then I'll stow this beside my seat like this. So it's stowed like that while I'm out on the kayak, which isn't ideal because, as you can see, it kind of blocks like part of the seat. It's blocking half of my stuff. This isn't even being used, this little wire loom thing. I might take this off anyway because I don't use it. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a way to use a power pole without it being powered. So there's, back here in the back of the kayak, right back here on the back corner, I can show you guys this. On the back right here is a way to mount what's called a power pole. And there's a micro power pole, and then there's a full-size power pole for big boats. This uses what's called a micro power pole. So right here, it's already got 4 holes for the base of the power pole mount. It's sunken in. It has like a little place for the mount thing to go in here, and what it is it sticks off the back, and it's got a hole in it. The hole allows you to take this pole, or a pole like this, and stick it in the hole, and it sits right here like this. So when you get ready to take off, you stick your pole in, and then it's got a battery powered remote that you use to push, and it drops this pole down into the ground and anchors you right directly center in the back. It sticks down into the mud and anchors you. Just the weight of this thing dropping down through the water will stick it into the mud. See, I can basically drop this like this, and it'll almost stay right in this dirt. And this is just regular dirt, just a little push, and this thing's in the ground. So it doesn't take much to get this thing to go in. Now, this pole, you can buy these poles. The poles are like anywhere from, $60 to $150 for a pole like this. I bought this pole from a gardening supply. It's a fiberglass, like 3/4 inch pole, and the idea is to make one of these that I can use with just a string. I could pull the string, and it'll have a hole down here where I can tie the rope off on the bottom. It'll have a hole right here on the bottom, and it'll pull, after it's down in the ground, it'll pull it up and stop. So I want to be able to have this thing mounted in the back in such a way that a string will go from there to up here, a paracord, and I'll pull it, and it'll lift this pole up, and then I can cinch it. So my idea is to mount a pulley right here, have the cord come out, go through a pulley, go in the side of, I'm going to build a thing with a box up like this high, about this high, and have a pulley on the bottom, a pulley on the top, and then it's going to go, the pulley on the top is going to be over the end of this, and then it's going to go through, and I'm going to have a piece of pipe pretty perfectly, and it keeps it pretty straight right through this, the center of this. See, this fits right through here. So let me draw a diagram of what I'm talking about, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So basically, here's your kayak. I got a big thick piece of chalk. Here's your kayak, right? So I'm going to build. It's not perfect. Here's me fishing in my kayak. Here's me fishing with a fishing rod, and I'm not catching anything. So on the back of the kayak, I'm going to put on this power pole adapter, I'm going to put a piece of metal, piece of aluminum out the back. It's going to stick over just a little bit. It just has to stick over enough for this 3/4 inch pipe. So I don't want it sticking way out the back. It just needs to stick over just a little. And then on top, I'm going to build a frame that comes up like this and goes back down, right? And inside that frame, I'm going to have a piece of 3/4 inch the 3/4 inch PVC pipe with the power pole rod run through it, right? Like that. And I'm going to have a pulley here and a pulley up here with a cord running through the pulley down to the bottom, tied off, paracord. Pulley's going to go, the paracord is going to go over the top of the pulley, down that pulley, and then out the side of the box to a pulley right here going to the front. So it'll basically have 3 pulleys on it. And the idea is when I pull the pulley, it pulls pulls that up, and then I cinch the rope down, and that gets pulled up high enough to where it clears the bottom of the boat. It just needs to clear the bottom. It doesn't need to go all the way to the top. It just needs to clear the bottom of the boat. So if I go over oyster beds or something, I'm hitting them. I'm not hitting this pole. So this knot can go all the way to the top, and then I'll have a couple inches, whatever my depth is of the boat, a little bit shy of the depth of the boat to the bottom. So the hole can be close to the bottom, like 3 inches from the bottom or so, I'd say. And then I'm raising most of the pole up. And this has to be strong enough of a box with aluminum sides, and it has to be weatherproof. So the parts you're going to need for this, I'm lucky enough to be able to get some nice 1/4 inch. Anyway, first time I had that happen, I had my Nikon Z50 say it was too hot, and it's not even that hot. It's warm out here, but it's not that hot. I filmed the other day with the boat for like 2 hours, and it didn't overheat. Anyway, so I've got some aluminum, some pieces of aluminum, some aluminum track stuff, some pieces of metal for the sides of the box, piece of PVC, 3/4 inch PVC for the pole to go through, a couple of these PVC TAs, a plethora of stainless steel screws, and I'm gonna go ahead and start fabbing this thing up and building it. So I'm taking you guys along for the ride, and I'm going to show you how I'm building it. I'm going to go ahead and cut all my metal. This piece here is probably going to be perfect. I also bought a piece of, it's called King board or something like that. It's a 3/4 inch plastic board. It's actually a replacement for wood for on the water. And what it does is it's a 3/4 inch plastic board, almost like a cutting board, and it comes in pieces. You can get big sheets or whatever. It's pretty expensive. It was like, I think my little bitty piece was like $12 for just a little 12 by 6 foot, 12 inch by 6 inch piece, 6 foot, 12 inch by 6 inch piece, because I'm going to put it in here to raise this up, because I don't want to stack this. So my piece on top of this is going to be long enough to go over the top, and then I'm going to use that other board to build this up flat. Had to run up to Home Depot and get more cutting wheel blades for my for my cutting tool. My camera was in direct sunlight and it was recording. I shoot weddings with this camera and I haven't had any issues. Like on a gimbal or a Steadicam or, you know, that type of stuff. I've never had an issue with this, the Nikon Z50 right here. But sitting here and filming for 30 minutes, like for an hour with it in the direct sunlight, and it's 90 degrees out here today, so it's probably 120 degrees. The camera got hot, it shut down. It said it was too hot, which is the first time I've ever seen any of my cameras shut down, because the Nikons never overheat and shut down. But I guess sitting it out in direct sunlight with the sun beating on the back of it in full, you know, auto mode with everything going on, here's my idea. So I need a template of this exact size, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this paper in here like this and cut it with a razor knife inside this hole for the exact size of the inside. It doesn't have to be perfect, because that's when I form my other piece. That's the piece that'll be perfect. Okay, hole there. I'm not gonna move it. Where's the other hole? Hole there. Hole there. And the last hole's right here. Once I get it drilled out, actually it's this one. I almost put the wrong one on there. I was wondering why it was a little thin. So once I get this piece drilled out, then I can use these holes to mark my piece that goes in the bottom there. My piece of plastic stuff that's going to fill this in and level it off. Oh, and I'm also going to use a piece to level off this, my light thing. I'm going to stand it up so the light stands upright and tilt it like that so the light's going out here and not at an angle like it is now. This is obviously going to be a multi-day project. You're not going to be able to get this done. I guess if I started first thing in the morning and I had everything here, I could technically get this done in one day. But I don't really want to. I'm not in a hurry. I've got time because the rest of my parts aren't coming in till tomorrow. I would like to get it done tomorrow as soon as the parts get here. I don't know if I have the bolts to go in there. So let's give it a shot here with the old Cobalt. This drill's been lasting so long. I've got a whole set of Milwaukee ones, but this Cobalt 24 volt is pretty good. Just hold it in your hand. Yeah, that's the best way to drill. I'm just kidding. Allen wrench out of here. I picked this kit up from Lowe's the other day. It's awesome. It's a 100-piece kit. It was 14 bucks for 100 pieces, right? It's got Allens, it's got square tips, it's got everything in here. It's got stars. It's for 100 bucks. It even has Torx with the hole in the middle for security. It's got security tips in here. It's got everything in here. This thing's awesome. I don't know how well it'll hold up, but it's an awesome set. There it is. I'm not gonna put it on my drill and drill the holes out, because in case it's too tight, I don't want it to pull the threaded nut out of there. So I'm just going to stick this into my screwdriver and unscrew it. Oh no, this is fine. This is barely in there. Yeah, see, this bolt's kind of short, so that's not going to work. I might have to get more bolts. I don't know what size these are. These are the same ones. Yeah, these are the same thing. I put these in here to keep from losing it. Well, either way, I can at least test it and make sure it's going in the right way. I can first test it, at least make sure that this is gonna, that these holes, does this screw go through the hole? Yeah, goes through perfect. This thing needs to be, it's gonna basically be just like this. I want this all the way to the back, right? Or just shy of the back. This is gonna fold up just before the front. So this is gonna be the length of it. It doesn't really need to go all the way back because it's not having any pressure on it. I'm gonna put it back far enough to where I put this down and put a little trim piece in there and have it look like it's made for it. So basically right there, wherever that length is, that's gonna be the length on my top and bottom. Starting to sprinkle out here, which is nice. Finally cool off. Where's my tape measure? I left my tape measure. You know what? I'm gonna go in the porch and measure this piece off. So I want it to raise up. It's just gonna be flat like this. I'm gonna groove this out where I can fold it up. So I got delayed, rain delay, so I had to come back out here to the porch and do the rest of this on the porch. So we're gonna go 9 3/4 on the other side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna notch a notch out of it like an angle. I'm gonna angle it and then bend it in on itself. So this will be the inside, this will be the outside. It's just for strength is all this is for. It's going to have a piece. It's actually getting weaker. It's going to break. That's not going to work. That's pretty 90 degrees right there. Yeah, that's good. You're gonna see this, but the sides are gonna have a piece coming across. I'm basically making a rectangle. So say I go 4 inches up. Let's go 4 1/4. Give myself an extra 1/4 of an inch. It's cooled off. Yeah, see, my camera isn't overheated again. It's been working just fine. It was sitting in direct sunlight, so. Let me fix the sides of this before I go doing any more. I'm gonna caulk the inside of this probably. Just, put a bead of silicone on the inside just to keep it from getting bugs and stuff living in it when it's sitting outside for a couple months when I don't fish, which I'm ashamed for not fishing for a couple months. I should be fishing all the time. Let's try this one. That has the 3/4 hole in it with the pipe. It's going to be on this side. I'm going to squeeze it together with the pipe. Put this back together with the pipe in there and the connectors in on each side. Boom, boom. And it's going to be bolted to the thing. So that's basically it. I just got to do one more right here and it should be, what did I say it was, 10 1/4 or 10 3/4? It's actually 9 3/4. Yeah, 9 3/4. From the groove to the next one. Funny thing is, this one here doesn't have to be, it can be at an angle. I can even angle it down at an angle because it might look neat. Then I could just cut a groove in this or piece it in there and put 2 bolts on either side. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go like 6 inches back. I'm going to angle it. Yeah, I'm gonna go 6 inches. I'm gonna go at an angle. So it's gonna come like this and then angle like this down to there. I don't need it to go all the way square. There's nothing else in there. The only thing that's important is right here. So I'm gonna angle it, level it, make sure it's the right height, and then cut the other side. So like that. So now all I have to do is cut this side, fold this out and cut it to fit. I gotta cut that corner off. Cut that side, so it's gonna go just like that. I like that. Clean it up while it's hot. Let me clean it up. So, and just like that, welcome to Florida. It's raining again. I mean, it's sunny again. Like 1 minute it rains, next minute it's sunny again. I'm gonna notch this. I gotta make it where it looks about even. These Milwaukee markers are incredible. These Milwaukee markers, you can get them wet, you can do whatever, and they still work great. So, all right, don't try this at home, kids. And wear safety glasses. I'm wearing glasses, so I don't need to have safety glasses on. Actually, I should have safety glasses on too, but I left them at work. All right, so I've marked this, and I'm gonna have it come down like this. It's gonna be held in with that metal that's on there, but this is gonna come right down on top of there. I'm gonna cut this. I'm going to cut that straight down to the edge, straight down, and then fold this top piece down on top of that piece and put a bead on it so that it goes right down to the edge of the thing. Then when I put my metal over the top, that'll look like it's flat on, going flat down to here. It'll just go boom down at the end. I think that'll look good. The other option is to cut this completely out this way and slide this inside of it and have it just end straight. That might be a better way to do it. I keep dunking it in the pool. So I'm thinking I'll just fold this piece over. So this piece here, yeah, I don't even have to fold it over. I can just put it over to it. Put it right against it like that. Just like that. Now this has got to go up a little bit. This is a little bit too yeah, I think this works out perfect. So now I'm going to drill my holes. I'm going to line this up. Drill my holes. Find the center of this. Bolt it to this. Drill my 3/4 hole through here, all the way through that plate, and then go line it up and see what it looks like on the kayak. All right, so my piece of pipe, connector to connector, should be about 4 1/8. Okay, so the connectors themselves, this thread is going to stick out of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill one. I'm going to drill both holes exactly from the front back. They're going to be right, they got to be close to the front, like right there. That's where my hole has to be. So I'm going to measure, get my exact distance, drill my holes, and then stick the connector in there and see, and then measure from the inside, because see there's a little lip inside of one of these terminal adapters. There's a lip in there. It's almost even, but it's within an 1/8 of an inch. But I'm not putting lock nuts on here because I don't want them to rust. I'm basically putting these pieces in here, putting a bushing on there, and letting it fly like that. But you can never have too many hole saws, especially these 3/4 hole saws. They're actually 1 inch and 1/8, but it's for 3/4 inch pipe or 3/4 inch electrical fitting size. And that's what Milwaukee makes these for. Milwaukee and a lot of other companies make these. So, not a lot, but Milwaukee and Bosch makes these. So let's get a measurement first. my 2 holes are right there. So these hole saws are absolutely fantastic. They're called, it's a Milwaukee. Milwaukee makes these, but they're a thin wall hole saw for drilling through metal and stuff. And these things are just, they drill a perfect hole. These things are great. Really clean hole. And see, my connector will go right through the hole. Perfect. So I can put this on. See, this is on the top. This doesn't screw down far enough. So what I'll probably do is just cut that plastic off, screw it all the way down once I get the piece glued together, and tighten it down that way. Yeah, these hole saws are fantastic. Yeah, 2 7/8, 5 3/4. That's it. I should have said no. Why? No, she's not out here. Tricked her. She'd be like, "Oh no, where is she?"
Oh no, where's Kelsey?
Yeah.
But it didn't. But if a car ran and you were on the road, I'll be dead and have to go to the hospital.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Nobody likes the hospital.
Yeah, and I'll never come back again. We will never come back again. And that's true.
How's that look?
It looks shiny.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Now you need the other stuff. Now it's good. It looks really good.
Yeah, now it's perfect.
Now, when you're
I'm not going to glue the top one until I'm done.
when you show me the videos, then can I get popcorn?
Popcorn. Oh, is that what you wanted, was popcorn? I don't know.
Well, how about some Cheetos? We have some Cheetos now.
You can get Cheetos or popcorn, okay?
Okay. I choose Cheetos now.
You choose Cheetos then?
I choose Cheetos. That's
Okay.
That's what it is. My favorite chips are Cheetos. Cheetos are the best chips. Cheetos are the best.
They're pretty daggum good.
Yeah, and you see Tony on there. Tony the Tiger.
All right. I think this is it for today. I'm a little tired of doing this.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish it up tomorrow. I got somebody over here sitting on the couch wanting some Cheetos. I'm talking to the camera because it's recording me doing this video. It's recording this whole time. The reason why I have to stop is I have to make the piece that goes on the side so I can lay this on it and trace it out. So I can't put this together, otherwise this will be in the way and I won't be able to trace this out and make it look nice. All right, what's up there, YouTube? Okay, so day 2 of working on the project that we started yesterday, and I had to stop because I was lacking a few things and I needed some more parts to come in. So I got the part ready to go. It's run through. There's a hole all the way through the back right here. The pipe's already glued on and everything. This is glued up, it's all ready to go. All I have to do is put this on. Now I did see another one from another guy and I was like, man, why did I think of that? He basically just used just the board coming out, mounted the pulley to the board and another pulley farther down, and then had the rope go under a pulley, over the top, and then down through and just had a hole from the pulley straight down through the board with just a hole in the board and the pole in it. So not even a piece of pipe, not even anything else built up. And it was nice, so it was nice and flat, and it was a little bit bigger than this, a little bit longer than this. It was like this. It was about that long. It's gonna go here, here. That's it. I just traced around it. So now I got to cut it. And I got to cut it a little bit smaller so that it's inside the lip. Just a little. It's not going to go anywhere with this piece of pipe run through it. It can't go this way or that way right there, especially when I put another hole. But I'm going to put another one in here. I'm probably going to put two in the bottom here. One over here and one over here. Just so that it won't twist at all. The one on top is going to be right there. Like that. The problem is the one on the bottom needs to be right there. Bolted to the bottom, and then the rope needs to come out the front. So if I turn it, then I can run this pulley right here and come right at the end of this, right at the end, and not have to do anything, just come straight at the end. So I need to mark this hole right here to drill this out. I got to drill this hole out. That's what I'm going to do. And then that holds it in place. So I won't even need to put another bolt in it, which is great. Our solution is to go sideways in it. Hard to drill through sometimes. It's not as hard to drill through as stainless. So now technically what I can do is that bolt will go straight through there. So now all I have to do is drill my holes for my pulley, get my pulley mounted in there on the top. See, this is also, I'm going to have to drill this out through I'm going to take a long bit and drill all the way through the extended piece at the same time. Yeah. Yep, right there. Even if it comes back a little bit, this pulley can tilt like this. That'll work right there. But see, it's through the thinnest part of the metal right here. This is the thinnest part, but it's going to also be through the plate that I cut across there, so it'll actually be through both of those. So I can't cut off the bolt until after it's done. Right there. It's exactly 2 1/8 with it down. Straight through, perfect. Actually, it fits perfect. fits perfect just like that, and it's not even turning. That's perfect. So I got 1024 stainless, the same kind of nylon lock nuts, but in a stainless for the outside. I'll probably end up running it through the other way, but just so it don't fall out, I'm gonna temporary tighten this on here. I'm gonna cut it and all that stuff, so I don't care. There you go. So now that one's on. I'm gonna flip it the other way. Actually, I'm gonna take this. I don't need to worry about it sliding back and forth, because once I get this in and tighten down, this thing won't slide at all. It'll just basically stay right there, because it'll always have a little bit of pressure on it. So I'm just gonna do the bottom one right here, and it can go anywhere over there. Let me see. All right, got it in my hand. All right, so these are what I used. These are, let me see if you can see this. There. These are H2O Kayak 316 stainless mill grade kayak canoe pulleys. I thought there was a hole in the end here so that I could just put one bolt through, but it's actually better not to have a bolt going through the top. It'll keep it from getting less water out. Plus, it's not just supported by a single bolt in the top. This way here is actually better, because it's bolted all the way through, and there's no way, I mean, this thing, you can't pull this thing down. It's not gonna bend this metal and pull it down, especially when the side plate's on there and the side plate comes up to the edge and this hole's already through the side plate and through this one. There's no way you're gonna pull that thing out. Okay. So the next one, didn't want to go through there. Yeah, see, I put this one. This is actually the direction I'm going to put them, I think, because I don't want them sticking over the end of the kayak. Right there. See, my aluminum has a line in it, so I can see where the dead center is, and now that pulley's right in the dead center. Same thing with the one on the top, but it moves, so it doesn't really matter. This one's a little tighter, so it's not moving. So just like that. Jeez, guys, the number of problems I've had since I started doing this thing is unbelievable. Okay, I'm gonna go over this list real quick, and I've never had this many problems doing something in my life. So, first, I get home and I completely forgot to get my hole saws, these things, this little Milwaukee hole saw. I've got a bag at work and it's got a bag of these in it. These are pretty expensive. This is like 15 bucks a piece. So I forget the hole saws first. So I have to go back to Home Depot and get a hole saw. So I go back to get a hole saw because I don't have another way to drill the hole in the top of this. So I go back, I get a hole saw. I grab some stainless bolts, some nuts, some different things. I'm okay, good to go. I get back here and I'm starting to make the video yesterday, and my Nikon Z50 starts overheating. It's never overheated before. It wasn't in direct sunlight. Something's wrong with the camera. After about 25-30 minutes, it starts overheating. I have to turn this thing off now, so I'm sending it into Nikon for repair because it never did that. And it's fine for these shots. I'm filming on it right now. It works fine, but the longer it stays on, the hotter it gets, and it's going to overheat. The bolts to go in. I forgot to get the longer bolts to go in here. I had to go back to Home Depot again and get longer bolts. then I get here and my cutting tool, the battery, which is only like 6 months old, dies. And it flashes back and forth red to green saying the battery's dead on 2 different chargers. So now my Milwaukee tool doesn't have the chargers. The Milwaukee tool I brought, I forgot the cutoff wheels. So I had to go to Home Depot, get the cutoff wheels, come back here. I've spent about $80 on accessories and parts and trips to Home Depot for stuff that I have at work that I just didn't bring here because I forgot it, or I bought it and I couldn't remember where I put it. The wheel doesn't fit now. For some reason, the wheel's not fitting. It's sliding around, so I'm having to put another wheel on it to get it to fit. There's just one trouble after another doing this. My camera overheating, everything. Nothing's going as planned, so I'm finishing this thing up, and I'm going fishing tomorrow, and I'm not even going to worry about it anymore. So I got it on here. I got the pulley in, and I realized that one side can't have bolts and nuts on it. So I'm making it this side. This side, because that bolt's long, it might be longer. This side is gonna have the self-drilling screws, but I'm gonna drill holes for them and put those in stainless screws. It'll be fine. It's not really holding anything. It's just gonna hold it in place for here. So I'm gonna drill the hole, run the paracord through here, get it run up, get it dropped down through the hole, get everything else done, and then I'll get back with you and I'll shoot some more footage. All right, everybody, moment of truth. I've got it in. I decided not to put any more screws on this side because this is the plate that comes back off if you ever have a problem. And with these nylon locking nuts, I don't really need it. These are going through the things. It's not coming off. It's not like it's holding it in. This thing's solid. It's not going anywhere. I put the bushing on the top, so we're ready. We're ready for this. I want to take all this stuff off of here real quick because I'm not going to use any of this stuff anymore on the pole. 1/4-inch hole. What I did was I took my paracord and I put a piece of heat shrink over the end of it. The paracord's already going straight through there. See how high I want this thing to go? Probably about right here is good. Right in here. I could probably go with a smaller hole. There we go. Moment of truth, everybody. So I'm just gonna put it through here. Yeah, it fits through there. Through there once. I think I probably just tied 2 knots on it. Like this, 1, 2, 2 overhand knots, and that's it. So let's see. I got to stand the kayak up to test it, so I'm going to lift it up. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Works perfect. All right, give you guys a close-up. So I put a little bushing through here. This works just like it is. I'm thinking of putting a pulley right here. Just put one of these yak pulleys just to pull the cord so it pulls over to the side like that. But right now it actually works just like it's, and I think it looks better than a PVC box. Not a lot better, but it looks better. I just angled it like that. So if I'm in the back here, it just looks like a little angled metal box, like a little, I like that it goes up that high, so it gives me enough extra leverage on the cable. It's easy to pull. It didn't take any power to pull this thing. It works really good, I think. All right there, YouTube. So give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I think I tried to cut it pretty short so you can see how this thing works. I've got a tire. I'm just going to tie it right here for now until my cleat comes. So tomorrow when I go kayaking, I'm just going to tie it right there real quick. I'm going to make the rope long enough to go all the way down and then just tie it, pull it up, tie it real quick, keep going. I like it so far. That's awesome. All right, YouTube, I'm out. See ya. Thumbs up if you liked it, sometimes if you didn't. If you want to see more DIY videos like this and videos of how to do stuff, hit me up. I noticed video cards are going down in price lately, and I'm going to make another video about building a PC because I'm probably going to be upgrading to a Ryzen 9 5950 soon because they just became available again, and or 5900. I don't know which one. I'm going to get one of the latest Ryzen 9 12 or 18 core CPUs.